Welcome back everyone to Data Science for Everyone. Today we're going to be talking about responding to events with React. Let's get started. So React lets you add event handlers to your JSX. Now, event handlers are your own functions that are going to be used in response to interactions like clicking or hovering, focusing on form inputs, etc. Now, what we're going to learn today is different ways to write event handlers. We're also going to learn how to pass event handling logic from a parent component. And we're also going to look at how events propagate and how to stop that propagation. So first off, let's go on and add in some simple event handling in here. So let's export a default function in here, and let's create up a button. All right, it's not going to take in anything, and it's going to return basically just a button. And this is just nothing happens here. Okay, and if I go on and run this, okay, I can open up a terminal here, and I can say start. Let me pull it over. So let's scroll over, and here you see, again, it's just a button. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't have anything connected to it. Nothing's going to work. Now, we can allow this button to show an image, or we can have it put up an alert. We can have it do all kinds of things, and we've seen that in the past. Now, we're going to declare in here, inside of this, we're going to declare a function, and we're going to name it handle click. So this is going to tell us how we handle the click, how do we utilize the click, etc. So we're going to just put an alert, and it's going to say clicked. Okay. Now what we do is inside of the button tag here, we say on click is equal to, and we have our curly brackets and here, and we'll say handled click. Okay. Then again, let's go on and handle out that error real quick. I accidentally deleted something here. Oh, button. Okay, and instead of nothing happens here, something happens. Okay, so we can go over here and we can click something happens, and look, clicked, it pops up. All right, so that's nice and simple. All right, now we can define this handle click function, okay, and it's being passed as a prop to button. All right, now handle click is an event handler. So let's actually just give in, this is an event handler. Now, event handler functions are usually defined inside of your components. They have names that start with handle, like we have here. Okay, so handle click, maybe it's handle enter or return, handle form submission, it's something. Okay, now it is also convention that inside of here, okay, inside of the button, so as you have the handle here, okay, you have the on inside the button. So you'll see on click, on mouse enter, on space, okay, on something. So now we have on click, and we can also run this function. Okay, so if we wanted to, we could change this up. Let me make this a little bit smaller here. Instead of having this up here, we could change this up, and you could have this inside of the brackets, and you could say function handle click, and then alert clicked. Okay, you could also again, use an arrow function here, okay, to do alert clicked as well. Okay, they're all equivalent. Now, what I personally, again, I think it's always nice to have them out externally. Sometimes it makes it not a lot nicer to read. Again, but that's just preference, okay? So I prefer you guys to just do what you feel comfortable with. And again, we'll make a couple different examples here in a second. So now let's actually start reading in props in event handlers. So event handlers are declared inside of our components, and they have access to the component props. Now let's actually create up another button here, and I'm going to just comment that out, and we're going to start up another one here, okay? So we're going to have two going down, okay? So the first one is going to be an alert button, okay? Okay, and it's going to take in message. It's going to take in children. Okay, and we're going to return in here. We're going to return a button. Okay, and it's going to take in an on click. Well, first off, let's actually put in here what it's going to be returning. It's going to be returning in the child. Okay, or the children itself. And let's clean this up just a little bit. All right, so for our on click, what are we going to do? Let's do on click. And here, let's actually create up an arrow function, and it's just going to be alert message. Okay, so it's going to take in whatever we want. Okay, whatever message you want to put into it, and then it's going to take in and have some that a message being put out, as well as the child, whatever you're putting in it. So now let's go on and put in, and let's say that we're making up some sort of toolbar. Okay, and we're making, maybe you're going to start making up a dashboard, an analytics dashboard, where you're going to have two buttons, and it's going to be analyze, and then maybe like submit report or download report. Okay, so let's do export default function here, and we're going to make a toolbar, and it's going to return in here an alert button. Okay, and let's put inside here, what do we want? Analyze for analyzing data. Okay, the message is analyzing. Okay, and let's put in another one for another alert button in here. And this one is going to say export report, and the message here is going to be exporting. And again here, I forgot to put this in a div. All right, so we have this in a div tag. We have an analyze button. We're going to have an export report button. And then we should be a-okay. And let's maybe put in some dots so it makes it look like it's thinking. All right, and so we have an analyze, and if you click it, analyzing. And again, this, remember, you would put this up and maybe it's going to actually analyze the data. Maybe it's going to produce a report. And then maybe you want it to export said report. Okay, well, then you click it and it's exporting the report. Now, both these two buttons show different messages. And again, we can change these messages that's passed to them. Again, we can say analyzing the data now, please wait. Okay, we can change them up. And again, analyzing the data now, please wait. And again, notice how nice and fast that is that we can change those pop-up messages. Now, the next part that we want to do here is passing event handlers as props. Now, we often want the parent components to specify a child's event handler. So we want to consider buttons depending on where you're using a button component. Now, you might want to execute different functions. So perhaps you have one that is analyzing the data, okay, and maybe you have one that is exporting the data, all right, or maybe you have one that is like for uploading the data, and you have another one that's for analyzing the data. We could even change them up for that. Now, to do this though, we have to pass the prop to the component, which it's going to receive from its parent, and then the event handler. So let's go on and make up another one. I'm gonna go here and we're going to comment these guys out. Let's make them all nice and small. All right, and so let's go in and create up another one. So this one is just going to be function. We're going to come and create up a button. And again, it's going to take an on click here, and it's going to take a child, or well, children in this instance. So we're going to return. And again, we're going to do a button. And inside that, the button is going to take the children. And then here it's on click. It's going to run the function of on click. Now here we're going to have a function. And this is going to be our, let's maybe have our analyze button. Okay. And this is going to take in a data file function here. And this one is going to be our, this is going to be our handle. So we are going to handle play click, or not play click, analyze, handle analyze click, analyze click. Not going to take anything. And what we'll have now is just have an alert. And it'll say analyzing a data file. Okay. All right, and then the next thing that we'll have down here inside of our sorry, I had to cough there. All right, so the next thing we'll do here is return here, and it will be the button. Okay, and this will be analyze here, and it will take in our data file. All right, and actually I need to move this again. I need to move this bad boy up here. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, so now we are going to be able to return our button. All right, it's going to analyze the data file that we have. And now we're going to add up here. We have, this is this is our analyze. So now we also need a function in here to be able to upload that file. So let's create up a function here. And this is going to be our upload button. And this is going to return in here our button. Okay, and let's say upload data file. And here it'll be on click. And we're going to put in an arrow function in here that's going to be an alert. And it's just going to say uploading. All right, and now we need our last piece here. Okay, so we have a couple things going on. We've made a button. All right, we are making an analyze button. We are making a upload button. And then now we need a toolbar to handle those buttons. So this is going to be toolbar. It's not going to take anything. It's not going to take anything in. It's going to return in here. Oh. And what's it going to do? It's going to take in both of our buttons. We'll take in our analyze button. Okay, and actually don't need that, we need that. And it's going to take in also, let me just get these set up here, our upload button. Okay, so what does our analyze button take in? Let's go back up here. Okay, and it's going to take in whatever our file is going to be. So it's our data file. Okay, so data file is equal to, and here I'm just going to put it in by hand. Let's say stats.csv. Okay, so let's go back over it. Now we have stats.csv. If we click it, nothing happens. Now we have uploading. So we have uploading. Good. Whoops. And our stats doesn't seem to be working. So let's see what's going on. Again, it's kind of easy for us, since again, if we click here, notice that's not popping up. Well, we can go over here and we can scroll up to our analyze button here. And it's pretty, again, like I said, it's pretty easy to see here. Notice we created up this handle analyze click. And again, VS Code kind of gives us this idea saying, hey, this orange underline says it's not being used quite yet. Well, if we go down to our button here, we see that we did not use the on click to handle our analyze click. Okay. Whoops. There we go. And so now we can click uploading ... and analyzing stats.csv. Okay, and so again, maybe you want to switch the locations, you can switch locations, you can do all of that. Now here, what is actually going on here? All right, well, here the toolbar component is rendering the analyze button and the upload button. Now the analyze button passes the analyze button passes the handle, okay, or their handler here, and that was our analyze click on the on click to the button inside. And then the upload button passes our arrow function or anonymous function here, okay? And it passes with this alert uploading. Now, as the on-click prop to the button inside of it. Now, finally, our button component accepts a prop called onClick, and it passes this property, all right, directly to the built-in browser button on, and again, this is the, let me find it, that's these small buttons here, okay, with our onClick feature. Now, this tells React to call the past function onClick. So let's move on to one more piece here, I believe, for today, and we may split this into two videos given our time constraints today. But the next part here is naming event handler props. So we can build with built-in components like a button and div, or only support browser event names, so like onClick. However, your we're building our own components, okay? So you can name their event handler props any way that you want. Now, by convention though, the event handler prop should start with on, followed by a capital letter. So just as we had this on click here, this is how they should all be noted, okay? Now, we could make the components on click. Prop could be something like, I don't know, on touch, for example. So maybe you're using a customized, you're using like a touchpad or something like that, okay? You can do something like on touch or on slam. It doesn't matter exactly what you want to do, okay? But we'll use on touch for now. And then you can go down and inside of your feature down here, okay, your function, you could do something like, maybe we want to add in a button here. Okay, and let's put in just another upload button just so that we can kind of show what this is like. And you would do something like, actually, you know what? Let's go up. We actually have a button function, right? Okay, well, we could do something. Let's go down here and do button. And we could say something like on touch. And we'll do something like alert, I'm working on it. Okay. And again, inside of that button, oops. Okay, you could put something like work harder. All right, and one thing here, so you can see here that it has an error. What we'll do is let's run back up here, and then I forgot. Notice this is on touch. This here needs to be on touch as well. And we should have everything working quite well. Let's check and see. All right, for some reason, it's not wanting to work. So let's just go back and redo this button just to make sure that we typed everything in right. So let's do button. Okay, and inside this button, we'll say, what did we have here? We want to say, let me just go back and remind myself, I'm working on it, okay. So we'll have it say something like work harder, okay? And in that button, all right, we'll say, again, it was on touch here. And we will have it say something, oops. Again, we'll have an arrow function, and we'll have it alert out and say, I'm working on it. Okay, yeah, that should be working now. Oh, and it's still not popping up. So let's take a look and see what else we have that's going on here that's not wanting to work for us. Again, seems like everything's fine. Maybe I just need to, let me just go and refresh. Oh, it seems to have popped up already by itself. All right, and again, we can click that. I'm working on it. So again, this is how we can name our own event handler props. Okay, so so we changed ours to on touch instead of to be on click. And again, you can change them to be anything that you would really want to in the future. Now, what this actually does, this shows us that our button on click is equal to, well, let me go up to it, is equal to on touch. Here, it shows that the browser buttons, that's this lowercase guy right here, okay, still needs a prop to called on click. But the prop name perceived, okay, by our custom button, okay, component is up to us. So, and again, that's this custom button here, okay? So we can actually make it whatever we would like in there. Now, again, this example has shown us again that we can throw in even other analyze, or we can throw in back in our analyze and our upload buttons if we want to as well. And we can see how that our components do not necessarily need to know what the toolbar is or what actually each of these pieces are, but they can still work. Now, if you guys like this and you want more of this content, please comment, subscribe, and hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.